DJ Event Planner will change the way you manage and run your business. Streamline all of your procedures and software into one easy-to-manage system. DJ Event Planner, the ultimate online planning tool. Tonight's DJNTV show is sponsored in part by Electro Voice, DJ Event Planner, ADJ, NLFX Professional, Promo Only, Newmark, and DJNTV Insiders.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Running Your DJ Business with KC and Brian B.
How you doing, Brian?
Well, apparently on Disc Jockey News, I'm Brain B, according to what's
Brand B?
Brain.
No,
which I get that often.
People don't think I have a brain, so you're doing better than I am.
Oh man, I'm doing good though. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I heard that you're fired up, like we talked earlier, and you've been on a tear all week.
Have I?
All week.
Tear?
Yeah. You're like
No.
the nicest guy in the DJ business. You, maybe Steve Moody, Scott Favor, Big Daddy, and then you.
Yeah, well.
And this week you're acting like me and Byron Gunter combined.
No, you know what's funny is I don't really like. I don't know if I covered this last week or not, but like part of our we were talking about time saving tips and all that kind of stuff. And one of mine is I deleted Facebook from my phone. So I found that myself going down rabbit trails. So I never get on Facebook much, maybe in the morning, a little bit in the afternoon. And I found myself stuck in a thread. I saw something posted and I wanted to help, of course. And it just spiraled downward as far as just a lot of people. And actually, I shouldn't paint the picture that it was just like a race to the bottom. I think it was really good conversation, but it was one of those things where next thing I know, I'm checking it every 5 minutes to see what the next reply is. And I'm going, what did I get accomplished today? I don't think I moved the needle one bit with anybody that was on that thread. So anyway, I thought it would be good to kind of air that stuff out and flesh it out a little bit. Because
So these are all the things about the DJ industry that annoy Brian.
I don't know about if I go that far, but
Let's
definitely
check the amount of friends that you have on Facebook now, and then in 60 minutes, and see how many people are going to ditch you.
Oh, totally.
All of those big endorsements are going to be gone. You can kiss them goodbye.
Right. Well, I guess the first one, and I actually have a method to my madness. You know, the good thing with you is we've been able to kind of bounce topics off one another, and usually you can drive this stuff. But tonight I've got a couple I wanted to.
I'm in the passenger seat, baby. You just drive.
So I heard. I've heard Mike Walter and Joe Bunn numerous times. I think they've talked about the word gig.
Oh, hate it.
And, you know, at Mobile Beat Show this last couple months ago, I guess it was February,
Right.
March.
Right.
Jason
Still waiting
Jan
for them to call me, but
So Jason Jan, I talked about how he said, I hate when people use the word gig. And I mean, I wouldn't say standing ovation, but applause was pretty noticeable. And
I
I
also used the F-bomb though, so
could have been that too.
yeah.
But I immediately texted Mike because he was in the audience and said something snarky about the word gig, and he's like, he said something snarky back. But how do you feel? You said you hate it, so you're not a fan of the word gig, and why? Why does that bother you? Why do you think people don't care?
I think it's disrespectful, personally. That's like your wife. That's my old lady in the corner. That's
Right.
broad.
Right.
Right. It was like there was a big thing that you never used when I was in the fraternity system. You never called your house a frat.
Mm-hmm.
You always said you never call your country a abbreviation.
Right.
Fraternity to frat, it would be country to. Okay.
Right.
Are you
Well,
getting where? You looked confused? Did you know where I was going with
I
that?
think so. I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
The see you next Tuesday, which
Yeah.
I think the same thing with gig. I
Right.
don't think, quite honestly, your client would like you referring to their wedding reception as a gig,
Right.
especially when you've done an hour or 2 hour sales pitch about, I'm going to hold your hand and I'm going to walk you through this.
Right. Right.
Our company's going to make it special, and now you're just gig number 640.
Right. Well, and to be honest, I mean, I look at it like, what does the bride or groom do they ever call it a gig? I've never heard them ever refer to their own event. And what kind of gig? Where does people spend $50,000 to throw a gig?
Right.
You know what I mean? Never.
Not only that, but when we talked about this, I Googled it, and like the Webster Dictionary refers to it as a musical booking for a band, orchestra, trio. DJ doesn't even fit into it.
Right.
So,
right.
Not only, in my opinion, disrespectful, or I shouldn't say disrespectful, but a poor choice of words.
Right.
It's not even accurate.
Right.
So that's all.
Right. Right. No, I agree. I think it's something that, to me, it's not about the actual event itself at all. It's about the people. And I think that if all of this just ties in towards the end of my little spiel tonight. But basically, one of the biggest things is people are always questioning like how much money they should be charging, how much they should be making, and things like that. And I think a lot of that is stuff like this. When you're referring things to a gig and now you're complaining that, people think we're only worth $500. Well, you're not helping your cause by any stretch. You know what I mean? By calling it.
Because I think subliminally, when you do that, I have a friend who's been in the business a long time, and he owns a bridal salon, and he and I talk about the bridezillas, and he just gets so riled up that he uses language that I just wouldn't use for pertaining to some of his clients, his difficult clients. And I even said to him, like, dude, you just need to drop that whole mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you seriously need to do a Men in Black, like mind eraser trick, and just clear your mind. Because the reality is, like, most people aren't that way.
Right.
Yes, there are difficult clients. Yes, you get the occasional bad review.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you have that client that has her entire wedding trapped in her head.
Right.
But has not gotten it out to you. And as a result of that, you're kind of like, you got to talk to me.
Right.
You got to talk to me. So
Right.
So that's all. But I hate the word gig as well.
And let me put some clarity there too. When people refer to, I shouldn't say that doesn't cover every event DJing wise, club, bars, restaurants. I mean, I used to call that a gig all the time, but I'm getting paid, $500 or $1,000 to do a bar gig as opposed to, $5,000 or whatever for a wedding. It's a totally different amount of respect. So for the club guys that are out there, if you're watching this, or, restaurant guys, call them gigs all day long. But I think about it from the standpoint of what would the bride, if I ever called it in front of a bride, what would they say? And I think that they would look at me like I was crazy,
Right. I agree in agreement.
Well, good. So we got one for one.
The car off the road.
Okay. So now the thread that I got dragged into was this thing about master of ceremonies, which other words, AKA MC. And where it kind of stemmed from was just somebody posted something about how, I now need to kind of pull it up actually, but it had something to do with the fact that the word, and people think that only a master of ceremonies is, somebody who just makes an announcement. Like that's not. I
think it was Thomas Heath said, there's more to being a master of ceremony than picking up a microphone and making announcements.
Right.
Somewhere in that neighborhood, and that's as far as I got. And
right.
You wasted the last 4 days of your life on it.
Pretty much. And I do agree with that statement, but somebody said, I've never liked the word master of ceremonies anyways. I think it's kind of outdated at this point. To me, it went the ways in the 90s of the floral tuxedos, the sequin jackets,
Never owned one.
I think I got some, I've seen some pics back in the day.
No, you can look. Never do the sequin jacket thing.
Okay. But I mean, MC is kind of taking its place, obviously, as kind of just the moniker. Obviously, we know what it stands for. But for me, I felt like the term is just kind of outdated, to be honest with you. Maybe the function is not, but definitely the term is. And that just started a whole wave of people going, well, you don't respect the art form, of emceeing. There's more to it than, like you said, of somebody picking up a microphone. And I'm disagreeing with that. But I do feel like that's something that I incorporate into the DJ moniker, at least with our guys, because we do a lot of one-person shows where, hey, it's just, we got to do everything. We don't have the ability to hire a secondary person sometimes. We're just now getting to the point where we're doing two-person shows where we're at, because our market can finally, especially the one in Florida where we have our multi-op.
Hey, welcome to 1995.
Yeah, exactly. But even then, we've changed it. We don't have an dedicated MC, a dedicated mixer. We felt like that was confusing to the client to have two different people you're talking to, or two different. So we have one headliner who's the DJ/MC.
Sure.
And then we have somebody who's kind of the assistant. And so, then it started going down this rabbit trail of, well, there's a lot of ceremonies within the reception. Such as the cake cut is a ceremonial, and then someone's explaining, the whole tradition of why there's a cake cut. And to be honest, like, I don't think the MC component, I mean, outside of the grand entrance, obviously, which is a big deal. But even then, I don't know about you. I mean, you're pretty up on the trends as well. My clients, and most of them for the last 2 years, have been like trending outward of doing reception formalities. I mean, the cake cut, I heard Mike and Joe's podcast today, and they were talking about regionality differences, and both of them said that like the cake cut's kind of being discreet. A lot of those formalities are kind of getting out of the way because people want to get right to the party, and it's not because they've seen a bad job by people necessarily. Maybe they have, but I think it's more or less just people want to get ready to dance.
It could be. Again, things are in different orders based on geography. So we try to cruise through everything. So from cocktails, we go right into introductions, cake cutting, first dance, and then in between our courses, we do our traditions. Now, that's the way that I do it at Keith Christopher. A lot of people in Chicago just will literally let people sit for 90 minutes. And I find it so incredibly boring that, it's I think, more interactive, and it keeps people enthused, but it's not an East Coast style where they're walking into dancing. And in the bar mitzvah world, that's the way it always has been. And
right.
The Jewish clientele, New York style, that's always that way as well. And I like it. I think it's a lot of fun. When Jeffrey Craig Cyber's daughter got married, they got married in a temple in upstate New Jersey. And I don't know if that's really a term, but like on the border, and they had a $50 service. So the ceremony didn't start till 8:30 at night. And everybody that was there, all of our DJ contingent friends, we were all putting money on whether or not the entree would be before or after midnight. And we were throwing money down on the table and trying to find out who was going to be the closest in time. And I don't think we got our entrees until 10 after 12, because you walked in the room. It was 8:30 was service to like probably 9:15. Then they did a long cocktail hour, like an hour and a half long cocktail hour. It was crazy with tons of food everywhere. Then we did like a half-hour dance set, and then the bride and groom during the dancing, just them got introduced into the room. Then we had even more dancing in the hora, and then they did the first course, and then we got back up and danced some more. And again, I think we got served our entrees at like 12:15, and I think the party wrapped at 3:00 in the morning. And
wow,
yeah, it was a great party. It was a really great party. But yeah, so that was that.
Interesting. Well, it kind of morphed from that to just titles in general. People were talking about how they put, master of fun on their business card. And
I hate all those.
And I heard I've heard a lot of people lately use the new trend word is event host, which I'm like, that's like, I've heard wedding planners talk about the same thing when they talk about 30-day coordination. Oh, we don't do 30-day coordination anymore. We do I don't know, a strategic event planning, or I don't know how they phrase it, but it has nothing to do with what they're just trying to change the term from it being what has been perceived in the market. The challenge with that is that you've got clients, that's what they're used to. Like, unless the whole industry changes and it affects what people, you're just confusing your own people. And you end up you're not going to educate a client all of a sudden to change the needle as far as what they perceive you to be doing. You know what I mean?
I think a lot of it comes down to it's the old, I'm not a janitor, I'm a custodial engineer. Like,
right. Exactly.
You can wrap it up any way you want to, but it is what it is, and the fact of the matter is, I'm not doing maintenance, I'm cleaning the bathroom. Like,
right.
That's that. So, I mean, I'm not ashamed of it.
No, absolutely.
But yeah, there's lots of kitschy little terms. I know our friend Jody Harris, who's a fan, even though she's chosen to do her own show right now during our time slot, calls herself the CEO of fun.
Yeah.
My friend Jeff Green down in Miami called himself I think he was the CEO of rock and roll, or the CEO of entertainment, or something like that. I've never been into the kitschs. I don't even have a title on my cards because I just don't see the need.
Right. No, totally. I agree.
I don't need them. I'd prefer they not know who I am, because if they get my card, then they're going to turn around and be like, "Can I talk to you about long distance service?"
Right.
No, you can't.
Right.
You want to talk to me about your wedding? We're cool.
Right.
But I don't put CEO. I don't put owner. I don't put any of that stuff down on my cards.
Right.
I leave in my emails.
Sure.
But, and all I do is put owner/founder, because that's more of a technical term. I don't care. And again, I don't think my companies are that big, so I don't need to answer to anybody's Wall Street version.
Right. And I don't
big like Big Daddy. Sean tuned in. I mean, his company's huge. He's the CEO of Love.
Right.
Nothing
totally.
But love.
Yeah. Well, let me give him a shout out to Sean and Cindy's Brown's watching this. Who do you got on your end over there on YouTube? We haven't said hi to anybody.
Let's take a look. I've been kind of flipping back and forth. Reggie Kemp from the beautiful city of Wisconsin that you'll be coming to at the end of this month is there.
Mm-hmm.
Rob Frazier said hello. Art Sanchez, YouTube's a little bit quiet today.
Is it? Yeah. Well,
I don't know what it is.
It is what it is. Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, going back to the whole terms thing, I just haven't been a big fan of that to externally to the client, because I think the less that you confuse them, the better. Mm-hmm. Let's keep it on trend with what we're doing and stay there. If you want to do it internally, like call yourself whatever you want. I just think when you're kind of doing it to the masses and you're trying to market yourself, all you're doing is creating confusion.
Well, I know that there was a time, and it seems to have gone away, where the wedding entertainment director title was popular.
Right.
And then you had and I give the people credit that they chose to go through a certification process. And from what I understand, it was quite lengthy. And I tip my hat to everybody. I just found it to be a really confusing title.
Right. Well, it's like there's
entertainment. Are you directing yourself? Like,
right.
That's a part. And then you had the people that wanted to rip off the concept. But since Peter Mary had trademarked it with the whole Lud Guild concept, what happened was then they just called themselves entertainment directors, and there's nothing he could do about it, which I found to be an equally confusing term, because I could just see, like, you hand that card to like a college professor, and they're like, "Wait a minute, you manage yourself? Like, I don't. Aren't you the entertainment? Who are you managing?
Right.
And so that's all. And
again, do you feel like those kind of things like move the needle at all? Do you think like having like
No, I don't.
Right.
I mean, I think what moves the needle is moving a crowd.
Right.
And giving great customer service and having raving fans. That's what I think.
Sure. Sure.
But I don't know. I mean, I see DJs that I think are you can clearly tell they're well loved, that I look at them and I go, I don't get why everyone's so excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
Played Brown Eyed Girl in Love Shack. Like, there's nothing original about that. And
right.
The bottom line is that these couples, they dig it. They've got 100 reviews, all 5 stars, and God bless, because really the only thing that matters isn't what you think or what I think. It's what the customer obviously thinks.
Absolutely. So you were the first to actually share this article with me, but then now I've seen it reposted in various different Facebook groups that I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
with this from USA Today the other day, and in a couple of the groups I'm in, people just went ape over the fact that someone's dictating. Here we go again, another publication that's saying that the DJ isn't valuable, and look, they only put a $1,200 or whatever the figure was on that, and
well, the figure's accurate. Let's be
right.
honest.
Right.
Publications now, both the Knot and Wedding Wire have all come in that 12 plus change range. And so I'm not going to argue that one. And that's semantics. You can be getting big dollars in LA and New York, and then you're in Topeka, Kansas, and
right.
you're just not going to draw that kind of money.
Yeah.
That's why there's not a Ritz-Carlton or a Four Seasons in Topeka, which someone's probably going to try and prove me wrong now. And I'm going to find a link up on here. But you guys get my point. So don't go searching. Just pay attention to what we're saying now.
Sure. So do you get frustrated when you see those kind of articles? I mean, does it just
You know what? I mean, yes and no. It's disappointing, but I have too much time. I mean, you and I both have been so busy this week. We didn't even put links up for our show today. So we want to thank the 6 people that are loyal fans from tuning in, but it's true. I mean, it's unfortunate, but
right.
It is what it is. I mean, life is busy, and that's the good and the bad part.
Sure.
Now the good part, I'm going to pull up the article.
And
essentially, as for those of you that haven't seen it, there was a blogger, I think a glorified blogger, and her name is, I'll tell you in a second. Come on, here we go. She's a blogger with a company called NerdWallet, which, from what I understand, her name is Kelsey Sheehy, and she's from, well, I don't know where she's from, but USA Today's corporate office is in McLean, Virginia. And I did look her up on Facebook, and she looks young. I didn't see a ring on her 4th finger, so I'm guessing that she's never been married, so she's never gone through the process. And so I think that kind of disqualifies you from being able to talk about something that way. But her whole thing was, it was a financial article. Planning a wedding, bucking tradition can help you save big. And I always hate these articles. And the reason that I hate them is really simple. They over dramatize what you're supposed to be getting rid of. You don't have to get rid of your DJ. That's a stupid thing. But let's be honest, guys. Everybody watching this, take a breath. You don't need uplighting to have a great wedding, because 15 years ago, we didn't have uplighting and people still danced and had a great time. Okay, we don't need a gobo being projected or a monogram being projected. We can dial back, steak and chicken to just chicken. We can dial back from Grey Goose down to Absolute. You can dial back your guest list so that your C list winds up getting bumped and it's only your A and B list. And again, everybody's going to take a little bit of a pinch, but the reality is that what all these articles, what upset me about these articles is they're being irresponsible to the reader. Because if somebody actually goes, oh yeah, I don't need a DJ, I'll use an iPod. That's a horrible idea, because as we know, everybody who's watching this knows that a great DJ is going to bring people together. I did a wedding the week of Mobile Beat. I flew home on Wednesday night, Thursday morning. Super sweet couple, totally on a budget. They served Chicago-style deep dish pizza as their entree. They had no bar whatsoever. They just had soda, and that could be also because the groom was Mormon. And they love deep dish pizza, mostly out-of-towners. It was a Thursday night. And you know what? We got everybody dancing all night long.
Right.
They hired my photography studio. No album, but they hired a photographer. They hired my flower shop. No big fancy centerpieces, but just simple bouquets with simple flowers in them. And again, all they did was scale back.
Right.
Guests danced all night and had a good time. And, people had a good time. So that's that. So this article essentially says, dump your flowers, number 1, dump your DJ, number 2, dump your favors. And they came up with like $5,000, or whatever.
Right. Well, I mean, I don't feel like it's irresponsible, and I'll tell you why. One,
because you're wrong.
yeah. One, I don't think you have to have been married to be able to give advice on anything at all. I mean, I know fantastic planners that are single and do a great job and give great advice.
She's not a planner though.
No, I'm just saying
This
in
girl
general.
is just a blogger.
But yeah,
She's
but I mean,
blogging
it's
mostly on business.
But even so, a planner who's single, you would think that they would need to be even more qualified because they're the ones leading the wedding. You know what I mean?
They're interning, if they've paid their dues and they've done their interning, and like one of the best planners that I know in Chicago started as a social chair in a sorority house.
Right.
Then she worked for a company called Chicago Sport and Social, planning parties and events for single people in the Chicagoland area.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in their early 20s, and then she cut her teeth by doing. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I think quite honestly, she did it better even being single than some of the people that plan their wedding and then they go, "Oh, I'm a planner now." You
Right.
know, and that's sad. And
Right.
all the community colleges are offering this wedding planning course now too, which, you know, I don't know. I haven't seen how elaborate it is, but I love it how people are all like, "Well, I'm certified." No,
Right.
you're certifiable is what you are. So, I mean,
But her title of her article was "How to Cut Costs." She didn't put DJs first. She's being responsible by saying, "Hey, here are the things." I mean, any professional who was listed there is going to say, "Well, you can't cut the cake, you can't cut the flowers."
It's not a matter of cutting; it's about cutting back. You could have
either way.
DJ with no uplights, with no dance floor lights, and if
Yeah.
that's what you got to do, that's what you got to do.
Right.
But to say just ditch that's just dumb.
But you could, I mean, theoretically, you could put on a mix on YouTube that you just find that's pre-mixed, a good one from a DJ that you hear, and it would be, I mean, would it be great? No, but it would still, achieve the ability to create a party-like atmosphere.
Listen,
I mean,
a DJ and Craigslist for $250 would be better than that.
I don't know, man.
No,
because if they're making announcements,
wrong.
Nah.
Now you're getting me fired up. This is what you're ranting about.
Yeah. A DJ for $200. I don't think so. I mean, I would argue that all day long. I mean, a guy who's probably going to butcher names, all that kind of stuff. I'd rather not take the risk, bring my own mix, and let it roll.
Listen, I think the couple is being socially irresponsible. If you're going to invite your friends and family to an event that you are hosting as the bride and groom, you have a certain responsibility to show them a good time. Honestly, it's just stupid. I mean, I stood up to a friend of mine's wedding in January. They were on a budget. They did beer and wine.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Isn't what I would do? They had a beautiful wedding. 250 people got up and danced all night, had a great time, and that was that. They got married on property. Again, they cut back with simpler entrees.
Right.
And that's what they did. They also chose to get married in January because it's a less attractive time in the Chicagoland area. So
I'll put it this way: if I didn't have at least $1,000 or $1,500 to hire a decent DJ, I wouldn't hire one. I'm not going to hire a $200 DJ for my wedding.
No, but let's be honest. You could hire a $600 DJ and have a really good wedding.
Yeah, decent. Yeah. I mean,
okay.
I don't know where in the Florida area, you'd be surprised, man. No disrespect to some of my Florida competition, but
you hear that, Florida DJs talking some shit right now,
right? But there's some out there that just do it from their, just do it to make an extra buck, but all in all, the whole thing was to me that people were feeling like DJs were feeling like, oh, this is disrespectful. I never get, those aren't my clients. This is somebody who was talking about a rare exception. This is not the rule.
But
you know what I mean?
But it's bad advice. Let's be honest. It's just bad advice.
If you're on a budget to cut back on some of your things, what would you, I mean, so you're saying the opposite would be, let's go into debt, crazy debt.
I didn't say crazy debt.
Well, what's the opposite of cutting back?
Okay.
Elaborate, right?
Cutting back so you're not serving steak, you're serving chicken.
Okay, so you're not having a DJ, you're putting it on a playlist. It's the same
terrible
thing. It's the same.
I can't even believe you as a DJ are defending this.
Well, no, but a cook would say the same thing. A caterer would say the same thing.
You can't serve delicious chicken.
No, a caterer would say to me I know a caterer would go, I can't believe you're only going to spend X amount of dollars on catering. That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
you're not going to have
they're not.
You're inviting all these people and you're going to charge them. You're going to invite all these great people and you're going to give them a pizza. Are you kidding me? No, they're going to say that's ridiculous. You're going to give them chicken fingers?
Okay.
Come on. Right? Right?
I hear what you're saying, but I'm sorry. I'd rather go from a 10 down to a 5 than have a 5 in one category and a 0 in another. And
you're saying an iPod list is a 0.
It's a 0.
Wow.
It's a 0.
Wow.
Even your mixes are not going to fill a dance floor at my wedding.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. We're gonna have to. Wow.
Uh-huh.
Ouch. That hurts to the soul.
Just to let you know, Brian B is going to have the official Brian B wedding reception mixtape available so that you don't have to hire a DJ any longer.
Right.
If you're on a budget.
Right.
So, okay. So let's talk to some of these people.
Right.
Lloyd is saying go to the courthouse. I don't disagree with that. You know, I was involved with somebody and she had said to me, she goes, you being in the business, you'd probably want to get married someplace big and fancy. And I said to her at the time, I said, I love you to death. I said, I'll marry you right now at the courthouse. We can have a barbecue in your parents' backyard because her parents had a pool in the backyard and everything. I'm like, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me.
Right.
If you want to get married at the Four Seasons, let me know and I'll start putting the money away now.
Wow.
It didn't matter to me. I was in love with her and I just, wanted what she wanted. And that was that.
Sure.
Here, Chuck Daly. I charge $500 and give them the time of their life. No need to take customers to rate it should be rate customers over the coals. So there you go. I don't need your mixtape. I can hire Chuck, who's going to do a good job for me.
Well, but Chuck's not the one. Chuck's not the one complaining about it being $1,200 that they're saying that you're cutting out. People were complaining about the amount that people were saying that the DJs was worth. Not that they were cutting it out. They're saying $1,200 is crazy. They should be charging $1,800 or whatever.
And again, listen, there's people that I had breakfast this morning at the Renaissance in Schaumburg. Okay, beautiful, gorgeous hotel with my buddy Mars.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it was $20 for a really nice breakfast per person. Totally worth the money. And again, at the same point in time, I could have gotten across the street and I could have had a bagel for $4. Or I could have eaten at home and had a frozen bagel that I toasted. And again, it's just different. So
right.
Let's see. Chuck Daly said he married a couple in a flower garden. Okay. Keith Clark is saying no iPod. John Young wants to know when the Brian B mixtape's going to be available.
Yeah, it's coming.
Brian should play that mixtape at Midwest DJs Live. He's going to be. He's like the Paris Hilton of DJs, apparently.
Yeah, totally.
And back there and
just
he's not going to MC.
No, not at all. No, not at all. No.
Sean agrees. I don't know who he agrees with, but he agrees. So Sean gives some clarity. And then, do many of the venues in your area require the DJ to carry insurance? I'd say about 40% of them do here.
Wow. For the ones I'm at, it's like 90.
But I'm talking general area. You're playing in the higher ended venues and
no, even the ones they all need at least liability. They're requiring us to at least show that.
I had a catering director call me today who said, okay, I'm stuck. This DJ has like a 7-piece band and none of them have insurance. What would you do? And I said, go to RV Nuccio. They can insure you for the day. Right. And tell the DJ it's their responsibility. Or you tell the bride and groom it's their responsibility to insure the DJ. So
right.
That's all. Let's see. Christian Samara joined. What up, Christian? Nicole Lamatia is here. I hope she's still on. I'm going to share you a quick story. Nicole was a bartender at a restaurant that I frequented, and we became friends before she moved down to Florida.
Okay.
It was right about the time. No, it was probably a little bit past. I held on to CDs longer than I should.
Uh-huh.
And, of course, first dance, I had it happen. That even though I played it during setup and it played perfectly, 2/3 of the way through the first dance, song froze. Totally froze. There was a little imperfection in the CD. She was helping me out because I was shorthanded, and she was totally cool, sweet girl. And this was going to be a 50-50 shot. The groom was going to understand that shit happens, or he was going to go bonkers. He went absolutely apeshit. Positively. ape shit. And then I jumped through more hoops for that man than anybody possible. And he still, I had Uncle Vinny that, kept pointing at me, telling me like,
Yeah.
you better do the right thing and all this other stuff. And it was like, you need to go away, Uncle Vinny. And that was, it was probably the toughest job ever. And she was just coming to help out the DJ and be my assistant and take requests and everything else. And
Yeah.
I think all she did was keep getting me napkins to wipe my forehead because I was like sweating so much because of what happened.
Yeah. That happens.
So, Cindy Brown thinks certifications are crap. You can only learn from doing. Well, I think you can learn from textbook and you can learn from courses. I've learned plenty at shows and workshops and stuff. But I agree, just because you have a certification in anything, including a master's degree, it doesn't mean that there's anything. My father's grew up, he worked with his hands his whole life. And he built stuff that went inside of other stuff. And he could talk to a Harvard professor. And if the Harvard professor said, I have no idea how to change oil in my car, my dad thought he was the stupidest man on the face of the planet. So everybody's got their own thing. Chuck Daly, there's no iPod hat that can match what you give them. Okay, Chuck, there we go. So that's that. So here we go. Sean's got the most important comment. To clarify, I agree with Keith. So,
guys,
and Nicole put an emoji of her hand over her face, so she remembers that night too. So, Rich Bednero, one of my old DJs, he joined in too. So this place is hopping. I don't know if there's
Ken
anybody here to see you. Apparently,
I did get one ask, and that was Ken was asking. He says he's doing a 50th anniversary event, and what is there a standard wear that you wear for those kinds of events? What's your answer?
Say that one more time.
Ken's doing a 50th anniversary party, and he's just wondering, is there a standard uniform you typically wear or a standard style of clothing?
You know what? We wear we wear black slacks, a black dress shirt, a black vest, and a black tie. So it's kind of Johnny Cash-ish, but we don't look like the bridal party.
Right.
And we don't look like the wait staff.
But this is an anniversary party. You'd still do that for an anniversary
I would still
party?
do that. Or I'd ask the client, like, what's the dress code going to be like? But I mean, I guess especially because my parents, God willing, nothing happens to them. October 16th, they'll be celebrating 50 years. And I know that we're going to do something with them or for them or whatever. And, I know my dad, he won't put on a tie, but he'll put on a sport coat and like a turtleneck. And the people that'll be there will all be not in suits and ties, but that age bracket, I think, is going to be, coats and jackets or coats and dress shirts and stuff. So I would tell the host, this is what we normally wear. Well, that, is that what you'd like, and kind of go from there. So, and then we've got Keith Christopher camp shirts that have our logo on it, short sleeve for more casual events, for school events, things like that.
Right.
And then kind of go from there. So
we have on our planning form, whether it's it doesn't matter the type of event, like what is the attire. So we give them categories such as, formal, business casual, whatever the case may be, themed. And then personally, I tell our folks to dress a little bit above or to the line of what they say. I don't want to stick out like a sore thumb and wear a black tie to something that doesn't require that, but I also don't want to be mixed in with all the guests either. We also we ask what the color palette is to try to at least kind of bring a little bit of cohesiveness to the whole event. We don't want to match, again, the groomsmen. In this case, probably isn't any kind of color palette that they're having for our 50th anniversary. But if there is, we'll try to match it a little bit.
Yeah. Ken said that she said the dress code is casual. Even black jeans are fine. First of all, I don't think anyone should ever wear black jeans personally.
But shorts is okay.
What's that?
Shorts is okay.
Shorts are the ideal.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Okay. You want people to talk about your performance, you wear shorts.
Right.
No, but in this case, I think that black slacks are a universal. It's like a black shoe, matches anything. And then again, you can wear a comfortable, nice dress shirt, or something and go from there. So Here we go. Keith Clark says the Keiths are right on this one. I mean, you may as well just, what do we got? 20 minutes left. Why don't you just say goodnight?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, you've
Jeez.
just been wrong most of the time.
Yeah, man, boy.
But anyhow,
jumping on the back. What are you paying these people? Man, you
know.
must have gotten a smoking deal. Sorry, guys.
If it's anybody that knows me, you know that I'm not paying these squats.
Well, I'll tell you, I've seen some bad DJs, and I fight it every day. And part of it is just, again, I would recommend over a bad DJ, use an iPod any time of the day. And I hate to say that being in my industry, but that's just the case. it's so bad. The bar is so low. So
I disagree. I think there's a lot of talented people doing it on the side, and that's just the way that it is.
Not for $200. Not for $200.
Okay, so what do we want? You want to set it at 400?
No, I think. I guess for me it would be $500. That would be the bottom rung that I would look at.
An iPod, you're still going to have to rent a sound system and a wireless microphone, unless
the venue has it in house. That's what she was saying.
Because venues all have them.
Oh,
got a good quality sound system to crank it up.
Yeah, well, maybe not in the hood of Chicago, but where we're at, it's good. It's good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Sean Lloyd said he'll work for Deep Dish Pizza. He doesn't understand it, Sean, because he's from New York and they don't have real pizza.
Oh, jeez. I think, yeah. Hey, I got Donnie with me, though. So finally, there we go. Hey, buddy.
He'll give up the, what do you call it? He'll bring in an iPod as long as he can do the projector mapping on a cake for $4,000. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about any of it.
Yeah.
Well, let's shift over, because one of the positive things that came out of this was the American DJ Association did issue an official statement, and they asked Miss Shealy for an apology, and I thought it was a well-written letter. Essentially, Drax introduces himself, and then he says, your article at one point contradicts itself. Your number 2 suggestion of ditch the DJ is contradicted by the last paragraph, where Kathleen Clark says that most of the guests remember the food and the entertainment. If you felt that she was knowledgeable enough to publish her quote, I simply do not understand how you can publish a suggestion that a couple should consider the concept of ditch the DJ. An iPod or a computer hard drive filled with music is truly no different than a musical instrument in the corner of a room. By itself, it is an inanimate object. The music doesn't happen until someone with education, skill, and talent picks up that instrument and starts playing it. The same is true of a great DJ. Then he goes on to talk about all the things that a great DJ does.
Mm-hmm.
And ends kind of with, while a wedding couple's computer or iPod may indeed contain some music that may be suitable for dancing, it doesn't contain the programming skills that keeps the dance floor full at all times. Even the Brian B mixtape won't, and creates a mood that has everyone talking about how much fun they had. I honestly believe you owe your readers an apology for a poorly researched article. There are a ton of ways that a couple can cut their budget in a responsible way to show their invited guests a wonderful day while not needing to ditch the DJ or other parts of their wedding day, and that they will indeed regret after it's over. So, everybody says, like, why would I join ADJA? Well, here, this popped up, and they, what do you call it? And they responded. So, you got to give him props for that. I mean, he didn't say it was the most rockin' response ever.
Yeah, no.
That's another one that I know that you don't care for.
No, I'm. Yeah, and
now you're getting quiet. Go to commercial.
In its place. No, but I think I was just going back to look at that article, and she was saying tips for managing expectations. Like, hey, be aware that these are some things that you need to think about. Is comments like this, that entertainment and food make it. So before you start changing the budget and all that kind of stuff, keep that in mind. I don't think she's saying she's contradicting herself whatsoever. She's saying, just be aware that if you do cut those things, those are some things that people, comment on that they like. So to me, that's not a contradiction whatsoever. It's just saying, be careful.
And that's a great way to get everybody to leave about 8:30 at night.
Well, true.
William Croxton just said, wedding DJs don't mix or beat match.
I disagree.
I totally disagree as well. I think there was a point in time when CDs first came out, and even when the new Mark 5020 or the new Mark Mark IIs and the Denon Mark IIs when that technology was there, but with the technology of the platters and everything now, and even I'm going to use the S word, the sync button being there, I really disagree with that.
But I will say, there's not many $400, $500 DJs that are beat mixing.
Sure, they are.
Not the vast majority. Not the vast majority of wedding DJs.
Oh, wedding DJs,
right? That's what he said. He said.
But the $100 paid DJs in the club are all beat mixing.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
sure.
You don't think so? You think they're just playing mixtapes?
No, I think they are, and they're getting paid $100. So,
Right.
So there you go.
But it's a different. That's totally different. I mean, obviously, you're there only for dancing weddings. You can kind of skate by on.
I always went to a bar to meet girls. It had nothing to do with dancing.
Yeah.
So met my ex-wife there. Picked her up on the floor, literally. And that was it. Hey, I just got a notification that Jody Harris is live now. Okay, she was supposed to go on at 6:00. So how does anybody actually listen to? How can anybody go? Our girl Jody was supposed to go on at 6:00 their time. It's now 6:46 their time. Oh, Jody, what a mess. I don't know how many people even know who Jody Harris is, but that's all right.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so we talked about this crazy article.
Right.
You hate the word gig.
Right.
Master ceremonies. I know that Peter Mary wants to somehow get the word EMCEE removed from the dictionary.
I don't care. I don't care about that.
It's not a master ceremony and people shouldn't use it. But if
no one cares.
He does.
I know. Well, okay, he's one.
Okay.
I mean, the client doesn't. Does the client care if it's spelled EMCEE?
I don't think the client. I think no one even refers to you as a master ceremony. They just say the DJ is going to do the introductions, and that's
right.
It. End of story.
Totally. So why do we care how it's spelled?
I'm just throwing out the things that are pissing people off.
Right.
You're not the only angry DJ in the world. Okay.
Yeah. Have you ever seen that? There's actually an Instagram called the Angry DJ. Have you seen that guy's? Oh, it's hilarious. There's some great stuff on there. We'll have to pull some of those up.
William Clarkson, I learned without the sync button on wax, and if you can't beat match, you're not a groomed DJ. Okay. I think some would argue, but again, Ken Cronin uses Tractor too. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Tractor's good.
Good for you guys.
I don't think that's the whole thing of like, if you use vinyl, and that's that old debate of if you were on CDs, you were not a DJ because you didn't use vinyl. I don't think it matters. No one's I mean, not very many clients care what you use as long as.
You know what happens when people say I used to be vinyl? You know what they're telling you? I'm old.
Yeah,
I'm really old.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I get it.
Carry the records all you want. Hurt your back. Feel free.
But here's the whole thing. Like, it doesn't matter what you use as long as the people are having a good
That's
time.
what I'm saying. Yeah, rock the party. Who cares?
Yeah.
No one cares.
Are we still? I have to refresh because my Facebook thing, it looks like the screen froze up or something, but that could just be me on Facebook.
I'm good.
I don't know. I've got my dozens of fans. I got to make sure that we're still live. So there really must be nothing on television tonight if people are watching us.
What have you seen anything else this week those were my four spots. Did you have anything that just kind of has been grinding you lately?
Grinding me? Oh, there we go. Now I'm back on here. No, it was a quiet weekend because of Easter. I know that you had a job down in Florida that you flew down for on Saturday.
Yeah.
We had an audio-visual event, and then the floral department of my company did we called it, what was it this time? Vines and Vino, or Sips and Centerpieces. How the girls were all doing the Pinot parties where they're painting and drinking wine. Well, we're teaching them about flowers and centerpieces and kind of going from there. So that's where we're at. Or that's what we were doing.
Got it.
And other than that, it was quiet. Took my parents to a nice Easter lunch, and that was it. So easy breezy Japanesey.
Nice. Well, we have a couple shows coming up here shortly, right? We've got
Right.
Pro Mobile for those in the UK. I'll be out there. So if you're out there, I'd love to.
Yeah, there's got to be hundreds of people watching this.
They
knowing
could be.
that Brian's coming.
Well, I'm gonna be promoting it. So
Do you have your accent down?
I'm working on it. I'm working
you?
on it. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I've been watching Mr. Bean like crazy
Okay.
to get all of his mannerisms down. So
Gotcha.
so yeah, and then we've got Midwest DJs Live right after that.
Right. I'll be out there.
Will
I'll be
you?
out there with Marquis. Yeah, we'll have a
Okay.
booth, and
Okay.
I'll be heckling you when you go up to speak.
Sure.
So,
I'll be mixing with my mixtape, so I won't even.
There you go.
Won't even mix
Nice.
at all.
you should
But-
make copies for everybody.
Right. But Monday, both actually at the Pro Mobile and at Midwest DJs Live, I'll be doing the party. Actually, and there's another DJ I just met through Facebook. She's actually DJing that too, Maria. Do you know Maria? She's like
Maria Manna, something Italian.
Yeah.
She's a very pretty girl, so no one's
Yeah.
going to pay attention to you.
Yeah, she needs to
So-
close for sure because she eyeballs will be there. But she's spinning in as well. She seems really nice. We've connected a little bit, and then there's a show out in
Here's the thing,
Chicago.
dude, you're in Milwaukee. Okay?
Right.
Like no one's ever been like, let's move Winter Music Festival to Milwaukee. Yeah.
But then there's also the show in Chicago coming up in July. I don't know if
There
you've heard of
is.
it. Have you heard of it? It's this show called Marquee.
It's a hot one. It's a
That's
good
what I
one.
hear. That's what
we
I
don't-
hear.
We don't have you DJing. Our DJs will
No.
be mixing live.
Yeah,
No mixtapes allowed.
right. And you're paying them $100, right? Or is it 500? Where are you going
I
with?
would never pay a DJ that much money. No, yeah, we actually will be announcing we already put out our Tuesday content. So if you go to our blog page on news, you'll find our Monday's already announced. And then Tuesday will be announced probably next week. I just am waiting to get a signature back on a speaker for that. And then Wednesday we'll be announcing probably the next day. But can you believe it? Monday will be April 9th, which means that we're 3 months away only.
Wow.
So for every person that's watching this and is going, oh yeah, I'm planning on going. The reality is don't talk about it. Just do it. Just go get your tickets. Okay. Could you please just not give me an ulcer about it? I've listened to every DJ for like 20 years complain about everything wrong with every DJ show. And I'm going to fix at least 3 of the things and do it for this show. And so here's the thing, like if you're not going to support the show, you've got no room to say anything. We've got awesome presenters, awesome sponsors, a beautiful hotel, all kinds of good stuff. Am I interrupting something? What do you
No. Sorry about that.
Is Tara telling you it's time to,
No, we have I was home babysitting my dog, and so I had to put him in a different room because he would bark if
gotcha.
it's at my house tonight. So
Okay, gotcha. Well, Donnie Lewis, who's actually tuned in, he's going to be there. He's one of our presenters, and he's actually doing a workshop. So he's doing a seminar on Tuesday about projector mapping and cake mapping. And then that night, we don't have anything going on. So the minute the show's over, he's actually going to be doing a workshop, a hands-on, get your hands dirty workshop. I think it's like $99, and that'll all be announced probably next week as well. So if the seminar intrigues you, you have an opportunity to really dig right in. So, and Drax, I know you're watching it. You need to, Rockin' is only allowed to be used on New Year's Eve by Dick Clark Productions. You use Rockin' more than anybody in the history of the rockin' world. So
if we got a sock hop, feel free to use it all day long.
he's got it in back-to-back concepts. Here we go.
Wow.
Brian B loves to be a rockin' laugh out loud. Casey is rockin' Chicago. It's going to be a rockin' time. Can't believe how rockin' is.
Right.
And John Young agrees. He's got a thumbs up with a laugh out loud.
Wow.
So he should be coming back here any second as well to try to
I'm here,
not get this totally off there.
I'm here when you guys are done.
DJ Sleepy just joined in. Way to go, Sleepy. You joined at the last minute, buddy.
Right.
Come in a lot earlier. George Whitehouse jumped on, which was great to see him. And yeah, so it's great. If you were here, just do me a favor. Just put a note. Just I want to see, because right now we're looking. It's got numbers, but it doesn't necessarily say who's here. So just toss me a hello. If you're
Next
here.
next week we got a guest coming in because I will be gone at an event. So
We'll have some good content next
yeah,
week.
no
Before
rants,
then,
no
guys.
rants tomorrow or next week at all. So
So
anyway,
Oh, and I saw my boy Daryl's on here. Daryl's my DJ. Like, he's my right hand guy. He's my dude. You know, he's that guy that we go to war together. So he's got my back. So
Right.
that's all. So yeah, every time I spin or every time I go out, he's pretty much the guy who's spinning with me. So I'm on the mic and he's spinning the tunes, and that's the way that it goes.
And you're rocking the crowd.
Yeah. So anyhow, since John's on, that means that our time is up. If you guys want to talk about something specific, you can let us know by shooting us an email, and I would love to help you cover it or help you fill that void in your life, whatever it might be, as long as it's on the business side of it. I don't know if we talked any business at all today, but
no, I think it all tied into getting what you're worth, right?
I have no idea.
Is that trademarked? I probably shouldn't say that.
I
that
think
phrase.
you're going to be sued now.
Yeah,
actually.
probably.
So
Anyway,
give up that microphone. It's going in the lawsuit. The headphones. Do you still have any CDJs from back in the pioneer days? Maybe you can do a settlement.
Or the
There you go.
proceeds from the mixtape.
So I'm sure John's going to be tagged in it. I, however, did not, say it.
right.
Anyhow, on that happy note, folks, it's a beautiful Thursday night here in Chicago with snow coming down, just like every fourth or fifth day of spring should be having. So I hope to see you guys all soon. Get your tickets for Marquee because I really need the money. That's really what it comes down to. And it's going to be a great show, but I really need the money. It's true. So that's it for me. Brian, anything else to sign off
That's
with?
it, man.
Okay.
We'll see y'all soon.
John will understand if there's no other shows. All right. Good night. God bless everybody. Bye-bye.